Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna and this is On a Budget. Today's video is probably going to be a little bit all over the place. I still have not decided which budget inserts I want to use for 2024, so I may switch it up in the middle of the year or even as soon as next month because I just don't know which one I want to use. I really love the Budget Moms sheets, but I'm not so great at doing all the printing, and so I would love it if they came in like an A5 size. Um, so I may switch back to hers, but I just don't know. So right now I have the cloth and paper inserts, and this is the half letter size planner that I got. I was hoping to kind of use this as my budget planner and just kind of write out my bills on like the monthly section and then put the budgeting inserts in between and kind of like track our spending on like the weekly sheets. But I don't know because I had also bought the Aesthetic Dollars budgeting inserts, but hers are 4 rings and these are on discs. So that's why I'm confused on which one I want to use. So if you see my pages change, I'm sorry about that. But by the title of this video, you'll know that we had a big change in our budget happen in December. So my husband actually lost his job last week, and I've been trying to film this video all week, but I've been sick, and so the talking has been irritating my throat. So that's why it's taken me a little while to get this video out. But I basically am just going to take, like, I think this budgeting inserts comes with a few note pages on the back. And I am just going to use one of these sheets. Like here is, let me just go ahead and use a full one. Yeah. So I'm just going to use like a notes insert to map out the rest of December going into January. And then I'll probably also do a January monthly overview in this video also. I did already do one. Let me show y'all that. So I did already try to map it out. Using one of my leftover budget sheets from the Budget Mom. And so I have all of our bills here listed that we'd have to pay in the month of January, along with our variable spending. Sorry, this is why I don't like the letter size, because it's just too massive. I would like to shrink this down into an A5 size, and I did have it in a classic planner, Happy Planner at one time, but those are just not easy to carry around, and I like to take my budgets on the go. So, hence why you see why I'm looking for something smaller. But down here is our, sorry, I have books in front of me. Let me try to get some room in here. You know what, it'd probably be easier just to take the sheet off. So I have our variable spending. I cut groceries back to $600, which would be no eating out. Cut our gas a little bit, and then our household expenses down a little bit. And it's still contributing to the house savings account and our son's high yield savings account. But even looking at it from a monthly overview, I had that we should have an extra $500 for our son's birthday in January. But if you do it paycheck to paycheck, we did not have that extra money. So I'll show y'all basically what I'm talking about, but I had mapped it out to where it looked like we would be okay for the month of January. Um, but looking at it going from paycheck to paycheck, it doesn't look like that. So, but let's just get into it and I'll show y'all what I'm talking about. So, I did receive my, I don't want to call it an extra paycheck because it was a check we were not anticipating. Sorry. Now all my books are falling. See, I told y'all this video is going to be all over the place. I apologize. Um, it's an extra paycheck in the sense that we were not expecting it in December, but it's not really an extra paycheck because it was basically being paid for a week in December and just receiving it early because my pay schedule is actually changing next year. So instead of getting paid on January 5th, I'm now getting paid on January 12th. So I've got to stretch that check through the first 2 weeks basically of January. So basically, what we're looking at, I'm looking at for the rest of December plus um, the first 2 weeks of January. So basically, income wise, we've got about 3,500 to work with. This is going to include $800 for Christmas that we have not put into the bank. I still have that cash on me. This is going to include my bonus I received, and it's also going to include the paycheck for the 1 week that I received. So the bills we have remaining to pay are going to be tithe. So because the check was extra and the bonus was extra, I don't have an auto draft for tithe. So we're going to um pay an additional $350 to tithe. My son actually stayed home the last week of December because I was off Monday and I took off Tuesday and then I was off Friday. So we just kept him home that week, and you still have to pay like half price for the holidays. And then I need to pay for the next 2 weeks of January, so that's $130 per week. So for his preschool, we have $325 due that I will pay um the next time he goes in. And so then our bills for the beginning of January, our phone bill will be $251. We'll have our State Farm, which just increased to $300. Hulu will be $97. um, I had some purchases on our Capital One card, which were one is my husband's subscription, and then two others were mine for some spending I did, and those come out to $166. And I believe that's it. So we do probably need to buy groceries Let me see. I'll just hold on. Let's take a step back. Let's total that up. So I've got my computer next to me. 1 second. 350 plus 325 plus 251 plus 300 plus 97 plus 166. That is 1489 for bills. That will get us until we are paid again. Okay. So if we take 3500 minus the 1489, we have $2,011 left. So we're gonna need groceries. So I'm hoping we can stay in the budget of 150. And then we may need gas, which I'm pretty sure I'm good on my car. It would just be my husband's, so I'm gonna do 60. And so that's 210, right? Let's test my math. 150 plus 60. Yes, 210. So 2011 minus 210 is 1801. So this is going to be what we keep in savings for while my husband is unemployed. So he is filing for unemployment. So we do not know if we've been approved for that or not. So I'm not going to count that money into our budget right now. So basically we'll have 1800 in savings that will roll over into January in case we need it. So let's take a look at. Let me fix these sheets. I think I just turned it over, yeah. Yeah. So let's take a look at January now. And go ahead and write out our bills. So AT&T is always due on the 1st. And that is about 251. We still have the 2 cell phones on here that I would like to pay off. We may use our tax refund to pay these off so that I don't have to worry about that anymore and it can lower our cell phone bill monthly. And then our next bill is State Farm, which is usually due on the 3rd, but it auto drafts and it usually doesn't come out till the 5th. But I'm going to go ahead and put it on the 3rd. And that one was for the 300. I need to look into car insurance to see if we can get a lower rate on that. Next we have Hulu, which is on the 8th. And that is 97. Then we have Spotify on the 14th. And that is 18. Yes. 15th we'll have Rent for 1200. And then we have a Planet Fitness membership, which is 11. I need to cancel this because we have not been going back to the gym, even though we need to. But right now it's just a waste of money. So I think they have it to where you can't even do it online, which is why I haven't done it yet. I think you have to like go in. I'm not sure. But I need to look into that because we're not using it. So next we have on the 24th Frontier, which is 85, and Netflix, which is 13. And then on the 28th, we have Comp International, which is 50. And then my husband's truck is 600. Okay, and then I do not have my payday stickers with me, but paydays would be the 12th and the 26th. So I'll list tithe on the 15th, and that's going to be 280. And so on the 29th, we'll also have tithe, which will be 280. And then we'll also have our son's preschool will be 260. On both weeks. So that is it for our bills on like the monthly overview. So now if I take it paycheck to paycheck, it looks a little different. So let me see if I have another. Yeah, here's a note sheet. So I'm just going to go ahead and write it on this note sheet. I have these budgeting sheets, but I want to look at it paycheck to paycheck. And so this is just a monthly budget. And so you're not really you're looking at it from a whole, but it's almost like you need to budget paycheck to paycheck because from the month you're only paying your bills once, but I may be using income from the previous month to pay this month's bills and then saving this income to pay next month's bills. So I feel like you're not getting an accurate picture of what our bills actually are. So let me take this sheet out from here and we can compare how it looks different. So, sorry, my son is in here watching a video. So if I do, let's do a side by side basically. So paycheck number 1, which is going to be on the 12th, will be $27.64. And then my second paycheck on the 26th will be the same. I'm a salary employee, so my pay is always the same. And this is going to be after insurance and after taxes and after my 401k. So this is basically what I bring home. And so we tithe after every check. So this is a auto withdrawal from the bank. It's going to be 280. And so it's going to be on both checks. So I'm going to do 280. We also pay for my son's preschool every time we're paid. So that's going to be 260 for both checks. So then for paycheck 1, I'm going to have to pay bills from the 12th through the 25th. And for the 26th, I'm going to have to cover bills from the 26th through February 8th. So for the first check, I need to pay Spotify. I need to pay the Planet Fitness. I'll need to pay rent. And then Frontier and Netflix. And I'm just going to do round numbers because it's just easier. So Spotify is 18, Planet Fitness is 11, rent is 1200, Frontier is 85, and Netflix is 13. So also we have that Best Buy that's still on interest free, but I would like to pay it off. So we have 800 left on it. And so I'm going to try to pay 200 for the next 4 months until it's off. So if I add that all together, that is $2,067. So bills alone is eating up the majority of this check. So then we have our high yield savings deposits, and that is 100. And so then if we budget food at 380, gas at 110, basically the household spending is going to get the rest, and that's only $107. So 697. So as you can see, that literally leaves us no money for savings. Sorry, just hit the camera. No money for savings, and also no money for my son's birthday. So if we go to paycheck number 2, we have tithe and preschool, and then we'll have Comp International, which is 50. My husband's truck payment, which is 600. And that's basically it to cover January bills. But now we have to cover bills until February 8th because we don't get paid again until February 8th. So I'll have to save money for AT&T, which is 251. State Farm fluctuates. I'm hoping this goes down a bit. It may have increased just because there was a change in our policy. And so sometimes it will go back down, but I'm just going to go ahead and budget the 300 just in case. My husband has a subscription that's 18, and then Hulu, which is 97. So if we total that up, that is 1856. So then we do high yield savings. What's 100? Sorry, y'all. I had to pause because I went on a coughing frenzy, but now I'm back. So now let's put down 380 for food again. For gas, we'll put in 180, and then so these charges are typically on our credit card, so that's why I'm budgeting like gas for 110 these 2 weeks and then 180 for these 2 weeks. If we do happen to go over on gas, it's on the card, so technically it doesn't need to be paid off till the end of the month. But typically we probably spend closer to about 250 in gas. We do have a trip planned in January, so I'm budgeting a little extra for that, but we'll see. My husband also is not driving to work right now, so that could save us a little bit, but hopefully he will have a new job in January, so we may need that anyway. Sorry, y'all, I just had to stop again because I'm coughing again. I'm going to have to wrap this video up pretty soon because my throat is getting irritated. So I had shopping as the filler again with 207. We also have some subscriptions that come out on the credit card. And that's 81. So if you add those all together, that's 908. And so again, there's no money for our son's birthday. So this is our budget without cutting anything out. So I know you can go to a bare bones budget. I would prefer not to do that because I'm hoping this is just temporarily. But this is without cutting any of our expenses out, like the Hulu, Netflix, like all that stuff could be canceled. But we do have that rollover money that I had put in our sheet. So I think it was 1800. One second. I'll try to find that sheet. Here we go. So we will have 1800 to say that we have to save to roll over. I had originally budgeted 500 for my son's birthday party. I would like to stay within that budget. I'm hoping I do not have to cut that, but we will see. We'll have to see if my husband gets approved for unemployment. And then also, we did get Christmas money that we could use towards bills if we needed to. And we also did get gift cards for eating out, so that could potentially cut our food costs also. So this budget basically is us not even going down to a bare bones budget. This is completely our normal, well, our normal bills basically. But for food and shopping, we typically always go over in those two categories. So for the month of January, we would really have to stay within this budget in order for us to not get back into credit card debt. And I really do not want to get back into credit card debt because I did pay off the Capital One card where we had that extra $850, and I paid off the Chase card where we had that extra $850. So y'all will see that in our December budget recap, which I'll probably film on Monday. But going into 2024, we will only have interest-free. Oh, well, scratch that. Besides the truck, we will only have interest-free debt, which will be our cell phones and then the Best Buy card. So I am hoping that we can stay within our food and shopping budget and cut out all unnecessary spending so that we do not get back into credit card debt. So we have been a one income household before. My husband was a stay-at-home dad when our son was born, but back then we did not have the truck payment, and we were also not paying for daycare slash preschool because my son was staying home with his dad. And now he's 4, so I would like to keep him in preschool. And so our budget looks different than it was before, but we have survived on one income before. So I'm just hoping that, you know, basically our sacrifices are going to be food and shopping. There can't be any really unnecessary spending right now while he's looking for another position. So, and we haven't heard back from unemployment, so it is possible that we could be getting additional income, but at this point we just don't know yet. So I'm not too worried. Um, I trust Jesus to provide for us, so he has always, you know, stretched our money, and so I have faith that he will do it again. But it is going to take some discipline on our part to reel in our spending. So I guess that's it for today's video. This is kind of going to be our January overview. And then next week I'll film our December budget recap so y'all can see our new debt numbers and also see where our spending went to. And then we'll be back in January for another paycheck breakdown, probably closer to the second week of January. And maybe we'll have some new news before then. Let's pray. We're praying Jesus provides my husband with another position. And so thank y'all for watching this video. I really appreciate the likes, the comments, and any new subscribers. Thank you for joining, and thank you to my subscribers I already have. Y'all are a blessing to us. And so I wish you all a very happy new year. And so I will see you next year. Thank you again. Bye.